Well, today, ladies and gentlemen, in this video, we're going to be talking about Mick Thomson's weirdest guitars that he's ever used. Let's get into it. Before we talk about these guitars, if you're brand new to my channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button, as I'd really appreciate it. It'd help out the channel so much. And yeah, if you're a Mick Thomson fan or a Slipknot fan, you're probably a fan of this channel and you might not even know it yet. So thank you so much in advance and enjoy the video. So what is going on, everybody? Thank you so much for joining me for today's video. My name is Ray. I'm a guitar player here on YouTube, and I'm really excited to make this video because Mick Thomson has used a lot of guitars in his time with Slipknot. He's used a lot of guitars that are very famous, but he's also, after doing some research, used some guitars that are less known and just not seen as often, and last but not least, just rather weird and unique looking, alright? So for those of you playing along at home, if there's a weird guitar that you're thinking of, leave it down below in the comments, and if I missed it, be sure to let me know, because I'm always down to learn some stuff and down to, you know, learn from you guys, because you guys help me out as much as I do my best to help you, you know what I mean? So thanks for playing along, alright? So let's start with one that's kind of more known, but it is just really weird, and dare I say, I really dislike this guitar. That is the signature MTM100 from Ibanez. Now, I saw this guitar live. This guitar was used in around like the 2011-2012 era, right around the whole reunion and kind of memorial tour after Paul Gray's passing. And man, this guitar, it is, I don't really like it, man. It is just so, it is so metal. And, you know, I'm not really a fan of that kind of vibe and that kind of idea. It's got a whole bunch of different contours and a bunch of different wild shapes and just points and angles, and yeah, man, it's just wild. Basically, it's Mick Thomson's MTM20 specs with just a wild body. Kind of looks like it's from like BC Rich or something like that. But yeah, this is certainly one of the more popular guitars, but you know, certainly weird nonetheless. Next up, we have a weird acoustic guitar that not a lot of people know about and not a lot of people have seen. And I don't think I've ever seen him actually play this guitar other than one YouTube video. This is Mick Thomson's signature Ovation guitar. Story behind this guitar: Ovation and Mick Thomson were working together, and Mick Thomson wanted to create an acoustic guitar that was geared towards not only metal players, but metal lead players. Because acoustic guitars, let's be real, man, they're very like not easy to shred on, generally speaking, and you know, they're certainly just not built for a metal player. So Mick Thomson wanted to create an Ovation with his specs, his sort of idea about a fretboard radius and a neck profile, and they came up with this guitar, and he showcased it in one YouTube video about like 13 years ago. Staying around the mid-2000s era, next we move to a BC Rich Bitch. Now, this is interesting because right around this time, right in the beginning of Volume 3, he was still with BC Rich, but he later, in the later half of the Volume 3 cycle, switched to Ibanez. But during the beginning part of Volume 3, he was playing this custom BC Rich Bitch. And what's interesting about this guitar is actually kind of damaged and or ruined and needed some serious repairs because Clown threw a pipe at the fretboard and knocked off the binding and knocked off some of the wood, and Mick Thomson actually cut his hand on the higher frets of this guitar when he was playing it live. So just a fun little story. But yeah, I really like this guitar. I think it's kind of cool. I think the BC Rich Bitch is awesome and reminds me of Joe Perry. But this is certainly a weird guitar that we didn't see for all too often. Okay, now this is a really weird one and a very a very unique guitar, and it was a staple and a timestamp for Mick Thomson's career. This is the Rhodes Double V. Now, this is not a King V, it's a Rhodes Double V. So you know how a Rhodes has the one horn that's much bigger than the other? Well, there's basically two of those big horns on this guitar, hence the name Double V, Rhodes Double V, right? This guitar I saw when I was at Fort Benning, Georgia, when I was on the internet, you know, in between, I forget where I was. I think, you know, in between, I was in my barracks, basically. But anyway, I remember seeing this guitar live on some YouTube video, some live Slipknot concert, and it blew me away because he had been with Ibanez from 2004 up until 2014, right? So when he showed up in 2015, 2016, give or take somewhere around there, with a Jackson guitar and a Jackson Rhodes Double V, I was like, oh my god, you know, I guess he's with Jackson now. And then lo and behold, sure enough, the announcement was made official, and yeah, he's been with Jackson ever since. But this guitar, big massive V, and it looks massive on Mick Thomson, and Mick Thomson's not a little guy, so it's a pretty cool guitar. Going all the way back to before the self-titled album drops, we have the Jackson AT1T guitar. This guitar, very weird, very unique, and kind of has a lot of people puzzled with this guitar, myself included. After doing as much research as I possibly can on this guitar was used during like the 1998 and early 1999 era predominantly with Slipknot, And basically, this guitar is a Jackson. Looks like a soloist, but it has a hardtail, not a Floyd or anything like that. So it's a very unique guitar. And this guitar is actually used at the Harry Mary's performance, the warm-up show before Ozfest '99. Yeah, cool guitar, and you know, really unique guitar. Up next, we have a really unique, really rare BC Rich Warbeast. This guitar was used very briefly in the year 2000 during, I believe, the Tattoo the Earth and/or World Domination tour. But you can see in the Antennas to Hell YouTube promo videos for the whole, you know, Antennas to Hell Greatest Hits, that there's certain clips, clips, hard to get that word out, certain clips that where Mick Thomson is actually playing a Warbeast. It's not his signature Warlock, and this guitar is very metal, and I'm not really a fan of it, but it's really cool to see how, like, this guitar, if you're not paying attention, will go right by it and you'll think it's a Warlock, but it's actually a Warbeast. Up next is an Ibanez Custom RG that was seen in a promo shot in the All Hope Is Gone era. Now, I personally have not seen this guitar live, and you guys gotta let me know if it's ever been used live or if you've ever seen it really at all. This guitar has 3 pickups too, kind of like the Steve Vai idea. It has 2 humbuckers and then it has single coil in the middle. So presumably a 5-way on this guitar, and it looks like it has Mick Thomson's signature Ibanez bridge design, like the Floyd without the Floyd. And yeah, man, but I've never seen this guitar played live other than, or ever at all, other than this picture. Up next, we have a very weird, very obscure signature Mick Thomson Telecaster looking Ibanez. This was a one-off that was done around the 2008 era, the beginning of All Hope Is Gone. Mick Thomson's talking about it in the same video with the Ovation guitar. And yeah, man, it is absolutely, it's ugly, man. I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty ugly. It's got an ash body, it has a stacked single coil in the neck and a humbucker in the bridge. And basically, man, yeah, it's just like an Ibanez Tele looking thing. And I don't think this has ever been seen played before. I think it was just kind of like, you know, a promotion for Ibanez or whatever during this time, but I don't think it's ever been played, and I certainly have never seen it played. Up next, we have a really unique and weird, wild looking guitar, a cool looking guitar, but very unique and not seen a lot, is a USA BC Rich Assassin. This guitar presumably was a prototype used during the Tattoo the Earth era. One show that I can think of that comes to mind, I'll put some screenshots up, is the Somerset, Wisconsin show in 2000. It looks like it was recorded with a potato, so it's not very quality footage. But anyway, man, yeah, this is certainly just like a one-off kind of weird BC Rich guitar that we didn't see all that much. And last but not least, we go to the Iowa era, and we have a BC Rich Custom V guitar that was seen in one promo picture. So again, if you're not paying attention, this guitar will slip right by you, man, but you can clearly see this is a V body with a reverse headstock. And this reminds me of his custom Jackson that he recorded the first album with, as well as the Rhodes Double V. So it makes sense that he's seen with a Flying V style guitar, but with BC Rich on the logo, or on the headstock logo, it's pretty wild, you know what I mean? Like, not too many people know about this guitar, and myself included before I made this video. So ladies and gentlemen, those are all the weird and unique guitars from Mick Thomson's career, to the best of my knowledge and to the best of my ability to showcase them all for you. Again, if I've missed one, let me know down below in the comments, and I'll be sure to, you know, say thank you for, you know, enlightening me, you know what I mean? But anyway, if you're brand new to the channel, please subscribe. Thank you so much to everybody who supports me. A huge shout out to all my patrons. I hope you enjoyed this video, something a little bit different, and I just hope you're doing well, okay? So I'm going to get out of here. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay metal. I'll see you guys next time. Later.